Morning, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. We're going to be dealing today with volumes. This is sort of like a review for 95% of you. You've worked with volumes with rectangular prisms and cylinders. This leads into the next class, which is volumes of pyramids and spheres, and maybe even some mixed volumes. Just as a quick review, the volume of a rectangular prism, which looks like this. Rectangular prism can also be like a cube, squared, but the volume of a rectangular prism is just length times width times height. You also might have seen this as base times width times height, but let's go with length for this. Length times width times height. All right? You'll multiply the length times the width times the height, and that'll be your answer. So, like I said, just a basic review on that. The thing that it's probably still reviewed, might be new to some of you, is the volume of a cylinder. The volume of a cylinder is pi r squared, so it's a circle, times the height. All right? So if we're going to put the radius here, here's the radius. All right, there's r. So pi r squared times the height. Rounding is going to be an issue with these, so I'm going to do a couple problems really slow to kind of show you how to round this. If you watch this video, take a couple notes, you'll blow through this delta math thing really fast. It just comes down to rounding. I know y'all can do the math. I know you can punch stuff in your calculators. This needs practice because you all have taken CERT tests now. Some of you have actually even taken ACT test. You know that this kind of stuff is on a test, so it's something we have to go over. Real briefly, we're going to go over a rectangular prism. This one I almost feel like I'm insulting your all's intelligence, but I want y'all to practice it a few times. All right, got a rectangular prism with a length of 12, a width of 6, and a height of 7. And that's pretty much how it'll be stated in delta math. So the length is 12. I'm going to act like this is it here. 12. The width is 6. And the height is 7. Let's just call that, let's call it inches. So we're going to set this up as V equals 12 inches. That's the length times the width, which is 6 inches, times the height, which is 7 inches. Punch that straight into your calculator. 12 times 6 times 7, you're going to end up with 504. Okay, this is inches cubed. All right, you don't have to worry about this. In delta math, there'll be a little box that'll be around it, and it'll say inches cubed. But I want you to realize that's inch times an inch, which is inch squared, times another inch. See, 1, 2, 3. So it's inch times an inch, that's inch squared, times an inch, which is inch cubed. So the answer for this is 504, just 12 times 6 times 7. But I want you to know that inch, anytime you're talking about volume, it's going to be cubed. All right? It's going to know how many little cubes you can actually get inside of whatever prism you're working with. Now I'm going to spend a little more time on this because rounding has turned out to be an issue on some of these delta math things, even though I've given you all several times. I want to go over how to round on these. All right, here we've got a cylinder, right? Here's the formula, pi r squared times height. All right, we've got a cylinder with a radius of 9 and a height of 2. So it's going to look a little something like this over here. It's going to be kind of a short flat cylinder. All right, let's put this in. So the volume for this equals, let's see, the radius is going to be 9. Whoops, first it's going to be pi times the radius, which is 9, squared times the height, which is 2. All right, this probably goes the best if we do the math here on the right side first. All right, you can do it any way you want. I'm going to do 9 squared, which is 81, times 2, which is 162. So you end up with 162 pi 162. All right, now here's what I want you to do. If you do this, you will not have any problem with rounding. You go in your calculators on your iPhone or your Android, you turn it sideways, you hit the pi button. Okay, you're going to get a really long number. You're going to get a number like 3.149. Let's see. No, 3.141592635 blah 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 blah. Don't round it. Leave it like that. Hit the pi button, then multiply it by 162. All right? You're going to get a long number. You're going to get, for this one, you're going to get 508.938 blah 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 blah. This is the number you want to round on. You only round on your final number. So Delta Math is always going to ask you to the 10th. So to the 10th place, you cut it off here. All right? The answer for this problem is going to be 508.9. Right? A little tip on rounding. Had this been a 6 here instead of a 3, all right, then you would have rounded up. But since this is a 3, you don't round up. You just cut it off at a 9. All right, I took down the formula, and I want y'all to do this. I want you to do the volume. I'm sorry, I took down the formula, so I want y'all to do the volume on this cylinder. It's got a diameter of 10 and a height of 10. Give it a try right now. All right, hopefully you gave it a try and you just didn't wait for me to start talking again. All right, diameter of 10. All right, let's set up the formula. Volume equals pi r squared times height. So volume equals pi. All right, it gave you a diameter of 10. You should know from a previous video, you cut that in half to get the radius. All right, if you stick 10 in there, it's going to be wrong. You're going to get 5 squared times height. All right, whoops. Height equals 10. All right, I'm going to do the math on the right side first. Pi squared is 25 times 10 is 250. All right, you get your calculator out. All right, I hit pi, and I'm going to get that real long number, 3.14, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you leave that like that, and you multiply it by 250. You're going to get an answer that looks like this. 785.398163, and it just keeps going on. And Delta Math is going to ask you to the 10th place, all right, of a decimal. So let's look at this. This is going to be 785.398. That's going to round to 0.4, right? You see how that, the 9, it just, the 8, all this rounds up into a 4. So that's how you keep from making rounded mistakes. So I think y'all should blow through this. Going to be about a dozen problems. The video is going to count for, I forget what the video is going to count for, but make sure that you give the video at least, watch it all the way through. I've seen too many people losing points for just cutting the video short and going straight to the problems. Guys, it's figured in. You watch half the video, you get half the points. You watch the whole video, you can get all the points without even having to answer a question. So please watch the video. All right, guys, you have a great weekend, and I will have videos posted for you on Monday.